All right, so I watched the Sincere and Princess video about the war coming between black men and black women. I agree with the premise because it is coming. I say myself, even though I'm a student of politics, I like it, the game, and I know what black people are on politically, and I know what sisters are on as a voting bloc. And so I even though I knew this was coming, I can admit that it did have me feeling the type of way watching what I'm seeing, like watching it play out, the optics of it on Facebook. I just wrote a post just a few minutes ago of a chick saying, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. If you don't like it, delete me. If you say anything negative, I'm blocking you. So it's like, yeah, watching the mothers go on stage with Hillary, the first time was bad, but then just doing it again at the DNC, watching all these mothers of those super predators go on stage with Hillary. It's like one of those moments when you're at the funeral and that family member can't sing, is up there, and you just gotta put your head down and walk out. Like, to me, is almost the better word for it is cooning, right? But I'm listening to the video and I get the same Princess Sincere's video. The same thing that, the same vibe I got from the video, Evil White Patriarchy. I did a response to it. And it's the same thing. It's like the theme to it is this: black men, y'all need to get off whatever y'all doing and accept the stuff that black women are on, because there's a reason why they're on it. So it's like, what y'all doing is y'all got to stop, but black women keep doing what you're doing. Or the only criticism I heard of sisters was, you need to stop calling them whatever they're doing feminism. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter what you call it if that ideology is attached to it and those certain worldviews are with it. It's like, I don't bang with it regardless of what you call it. But to me, the video kind of also is like, it's sideways, without saying, taking shots at black women, saying that they're basically silly, illogical, irrational, and they make decisions off emotion because they're going to be bombarded with the propaganda and the promotion of the woman card thing. So and then they're not going to be able to fight that. Now, personally, I know that's not true for most. No, for the electric, the ones that are voting, most of them, yes. I did see some sisters that have platforms and that have discussions that are like, the one chick was like, Michelle Obama's speech was BS. But I'm saying these are usually chicks that do this for a living. They do videos, or they write articles and stuff like that. You see Madam President over at Dr. Boyce Walker's camp did a little video talking about, this is how black women look supporting Hillary Clinton. So for people who are in these conversations and these dialogues often, yes, those sisters are not endorsing Hillary, they're not voting for Hillary. But as far as the electric, the voters, the people that you know in real life who aren't into the gender wars on YouTube and don't recognize all that stuff, they're voting for Hillary. And to me, like, the video made excuses for saying like, well, they wanted Bernie, but they have no choice. They feel like they have no option, so they're going for Hillary, which is not true because they've always been for Hillary from day one, right? Barack Obama won at the 25th hour. Like, he won at the last minute. Sisters were for Hillary back then. It wasn't until key endorsements came, one of them being as big as Oprah. And that's why you seen that beef between, white women fell out with Oprah, because it's like, how dare you trade race for gender? Like, that's when you've seen the video of Melissa Harris Perry and Gloria Steinem being interviewed by, I think it was Rachel Maddow. Basically, they want to know why you black women chose race over gender at that time. And Gloria Steinem, I'm just like, we'll get it next time. So she was cool about it, but that's when all the you've seen her, Melissa Harris Perry, being more black first, even though she's biracial, than feminists. But now it's her time to be feminist now again. So, the one made, it's like a lot of circular arguments in the video and things that they were correcting themselves almost, but it's like I didn't understand how they added it together. Like, they were talking about, like, Prince said, don't listen to what the MRA dudes are saying about black women because they want to bang them. And I'm like, that's historically always been true. Like, white men have always been coming to the hook. Arab dudes too, to smash black women, but it's not like they're marrying them and taking them home. What a point that was made up in the video was like, when white dudes hop the fence, they usually pick Asian chicks. Hence your Mark Zuckerbergs, the Pasquellis, the people who own the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills. White dude made his money off frack and came to New York. Can't frack here, but already got his money, and he married an Asian chick too, like the real power couple right there. So, I didn't understand the point of him saying that. That's like the same argument that fat girls make. Like, you see these memes on Facebook now saying, and these dudes act like they don't like big girls. I'm like, well, they like you behind the dumpster, behind the KFC. Like, They're not promoting you in public. They're not putting rings on it. They don't put posters of you on their wall. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they like you on the low. That's not something to brag about. So saying that white boys want to blame black women so don't fall for whatever they're talking about is like, vagina's vagina. I thought we've already established that by now. You know, slavery and the mulattoes and all that stuff. Like, I thought we've already, Thomas Jefferson. Come on, like, we know they like the black vagina, regardless of what they say, no matter how racist they are. That ain't a point of proving anything. But as far as the video, the one thing that did get me though is when Prince said, like, and I'm not subscribed to any group or anything like that. When I first got on YouTube when I was 25, yeah, things that were going on in my life, the were reflections, and I came to YouTube and I seen men having discussions on things that I was having with random dudes on the street. You know, brother come up to me like, yeah, me and my girls broke up. It was a financial situation. You know, she was ahead of me financially, and it wasn't working out. And I was feeling this type of way, and I had to get my own bit. Like, I had conversations like that with, like, at 25 with men who are 30, 40 years old, like in the gym, you know, at work, stuff like that. So it was like, and then I come to YouTube and it's like, damn, they talking about this shit on here too. So, but I haven't really listened to most of them. Like, when I started off, most of the videos that I was into, besides religious beefs and stuff with Ringo and all those other people who were doing that, it was more a lot of more white MRA types. Early on, I caught on that MGTOW was different than MRAs. It's not the same thing. But Prince had said something about black men who are subscribed to any of the ideology are simps, and they're the real simps and this and that. And I'm like, all right, so and they need to get off of it, right? Didn't tell black women to get off of black feminism. Just told them that they need to not call it feminism, but told black men they need to get out of the MRA. Now, Sarge has done the same thing too, but at least the difference is Sarge has done several videos, you know, breaking down why he understands why black men are over there in the first place. He's done videos going point for point where he agrees with the white boys. So it's like, at least he addressed why they're over there in the first place. Like, it's not like it's not things that are being said that are applicable to black men. So it's like, there's a reason why they're over there. And I feel like that's what we don't do in these dialogues and conversations is when black men are on something, we don't break shit down and want to go to the rabbit hole and see what's up with them. We just say get off of it. Whereas with women, we almost make excuses for why they're on what they're on. You know, Dr. Boyce Walker's all the time like, see, when something bad happens from a black man, the white feminist is right in the black woman's ear, and she pulls him over to her side, and boom. And I'll admit, as a man, there are certain things, certain arguments that may be valid that just because I'm a man, I might not just see it their way, and I'm not going to co-sign it. You know, for example, I understood when black women were saying, I'm not watching the NWA because of this, and that. And I'm like, all right, cool. I got you. You don't have to watch it. But I'm not going to join you in some boycott because I do feel jaded that, as I said in my video about the NWA, is like, yo, these black feminists said they want to destroy white supremacy on the structure, which is odd because they utilize the structure to destroy it, which that doesn't make any sense. But most of their movements and stuff are funded by white men anyway. So it's like, how you going to do that? And I'm thinking like, well, why is it always the black rapper, the black entertainer, the black person who's always getting, losing resources? Rick Ross lost his $4 million deal with Mountain Dew for the line. She didn't even know it. Don't agree with the line, but it's like, I keep seeing the brothers are being the faces of misogyny or rape or whatever, where the white, like, everybody's still eating footlongs and Seven Heavens is still on TV. But the Cosby Show is gone, right? So it's like, yeah, I do kind of feel some type of way when I see it constantly being black men being the faces of all these things, but now they're not the only ones doing it. So yeah, I'm like, I get what you're saying, sister, but it's like, yo, these are brothers constantly away, and it's like, and yeah, use white feminists to help you destroy these men as well, or to bring them down or bring attention to their situation. Dr. Boyce Walkers even did that to Tyler Creator, who I'm not a fan of his work, but that whole commercial that he did, his vision got crushed and his deal was over between what Lil Wayne said and what Tyler Creator did in that video. They lost mad loot, and that was largely due to Dr. Boyce Watkins. But my thing about the MRA thing, right? So the one thing that Sarge did too in his video, and Sincere and Prince kind of alluded to this in their videos, that it's like the same thing like when black women sold out and went with white feminists, even though we make excuses for why they're over in the first place. They're trying to correlate black men being in MRA with black women who were with feminists, when they're not synonymous at all, right? A black dude fighting for father's rights, a black dude fighting for, false rape allegations, a brother fighting for custody battles. Those are men's issues, right? And one, there's nothing that we have to offer to direct and address those issues, right? So it's like one thing that we should start doing is like if we tell people to get off something, let's have something for them to replace it with, right? Don't just say get off of it, but don't have anything else in return. Kind of like how black folks, a little bit, I'm going to do a different video about it, the NRA thing is how, as soon as something happens, when a black person does something dumb with a gun, we yell and say, where the NRA at, this and that, and I'm like, but then not every other time is the NRA is racist, this and that. We vote for Democrats who want to make gun laws restrict harder, so it's like, all right, so boom, they look at you sideways for that. And then when something pops off, you want them to do this pro bono work to get you off. Like when a chick crossed state lines in New Jersey, the NRA helped her, to no credit to them. Now people were saying about the chick who shot at the two dudes who shot her boyfriend. She shoots up in the air. If you take a class, you know that you can't do that. You have to shoot at the people, not in the air because you can hit anybody. But I'm saying, and then we're screaming like, the NRA. But that's just the premise is like, we don't have anything else to offer. Black men don't have outlets. Like, Prince said on his one video that black women are double niggas, but they're also double minorities, right? So when they're competing for an opportunity or job in this system from other groups, they get a leg up, right? Because they have ovaries, they get a pass. Not saying that they don't deal with things once they get in the door, but they still get the damn job in the first place sometimes because of their gender. They're double minorities. So black men don't get that option, right? They don't. There's no extra system. Like Sarge says in his videos, as long as a woman is childbearing age, the state is going to take care of her and look out for her. Period. You don't see no young women out on the street. It's mostly women who are beyond childbearing age because the state will still take care of you in that situation. Men don't have anything like that, right? You go out, brothers don't have any outlets or any other spaces to deal with those things. You see what happens with brothers when they get pressed. Like when was the last time you see the brother go to the news like, yo, this company was racist and they did this to me and they did that to me and they harassed me. You can get sisters to do that in white media, even though white feminists and white liberalism exploit them and use them and all that. They still give them bones every now and then. Brothers don't have those bones. They don't get anything like that, right? What black men do when they get in those situations, they go postal and they snap. What you saw with the dude in LA, the cop who was shooting everybody. Or the brother who was in that factory in the South who he was dealing with all these racist white coworkers and stuff, and he snapped and he killed everybody. Like, that's what brothers do because there is no system or no coalition for them to bond on issues that they deal with. Now, I agree with Sincere and Prince and Sarge on why they say that black men shouldn't be over there, because when it comes to race, they're not messing with you, and that's true. All you gotta do is look at your Facebook page from last week when Castile got shot and none of your white friends said nothing, and then boom, when the cops got shot, all types of memes came up like, I support the police if you don't, get out of here, or unfriend me or block me, right there. So that is true, I agree. But when has it been historically that we've ever been with a group or a thing where we haven't had to be strategic, get what we need point for point, and get out? I mean, as a black person, we have to do that. We don't agree ideology-wise at all. The divide between religion, political ideology, all that, all types of divides. But there are things you pick that you have a common interest in, and you fight for those individual goals. So black men don't lose anything by fighting with white men for child laws. When Brian Banks got out of prison, it was the white MRA dudes who did the GoFundMe for him, right? They publicized his story. They put him on a map. Not black people, and damn sure not black women. And like I said before, again, there's certain things in an issue, in the interest of a woman, that I'm sure I'm not going to support it because it's in her interest and it's not in mine, and vice versa. Black women are not going to go to the court system and to position the courts to help black men get cheaper child support, right? To get shared custody laws, right? They're not going to go petition the court and say, you know what, I don't like the fact that my health insurance is cheaper now because younger men who are healthy, who don't even use the insurance, are subsidizing it. They're not going to go do that. So it's silly to say just get off of that when they have nothing to replace it with, and there are issues that men have to deal with regardless. Men who are on a lower economic scale, white or black, they're the things you face and you got to deal with. So I just don't understand this idea of telling them to get off something without having anything in return, but then telling sisters that they are cool doing what they doing. All right, so I guess I'm gonna finish the video here. Add this clip to the next set, but I mean, also the stuff again that Sincere keeps bringing up, the Xena warrior princess from um 1,000 years ago, who were the female tribe and all that nonsense. Is like, yo, again, are you listening to the videos of black women on YouTube right now? There, you got Simone 5'6", you got Cerebral Madness, you got I don't listen to none of these videos. I just hear them of them and what they talk about in other commentaries. But I've heard a few of Cerebral's videos recently. I've seen the titles and stuff of. I've seen the war between Chrissy and Simone 5'6" and all that, and I'm like, do y'all hear what these are? Women who are being extreme, saying, you know, stop helping black men in the street, stop fighting, stop getting tear gas, stop, you know, doing things that women shouldn't be doing. It's not your responsibility and all that. So you got women who are totally contradicting the stuff that Sincere is trying to say, like, you know, women can make great leaders and they could be on the front lines and all this. And like, yo, maybe, I don't know how old she is, but she said she's a millennial, so maybe that might be something that y'all are on. But everybody up 30 and up ain't on that, right? Unless they're on some feminist stuff or some true egalitarianism stuff, where they don't want special preferential treatment because of their gender. Then by all means, everybody's cool with them doing that because they are the exception to the rule, but they are not the rule. And most of the women, again, like I said in the video, Evil White Patriarchy, most of my arguments for a structure like that is not coming from the white boys. It's coming from the complaints of what sisters are saying for what we are not doing. And I just add, if you want those things done, it comes with this structure. It comes with this system. You can't have it any other way. It's just not going to be done. So, you know, when I'm just listening to some of these sisters' videos of lately, it's like they're on some MGTOW stuff. They're on some, we about to burn this shit down. You know, we're not having no more black babies. We are gonna hop the fence and get with white men. And I'm like, I've yet to hear, like, you address feminism and all that vaguely in their video, but I've yet to hear them address. They address the black men who make dumb comments on their videos. They address some of the black men who are extreme on YouTube, but I haven't heard them address the sisters who are making their counter arguments. Because the thing about the kid or the young black men who are like, they're like where I was at when I was 25 and first got to the internet and stuff, and they didn't know nothing about this gender war stuff till they got to the internet, because it really is playing out a little bit more in real life now, but it's not there yet. Like, people don't recognize it's something going on until they get online, and they're watching the videos of Crystal Karazine and Brooklyn Blue and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, and then all the other videos are just telling how black men how you know they need to stop doing what they're doing, but it's almost like sisters got free reign to do what they're doing in their videos. And again, it's like, I didn't say that in the first video response, Evil White Patriarch, is like, maybe y'all weren't addressing the women, but it's still that same theme. Like, you can't address half of the situation. Like, you know, the reason why brothers are doing what they're doing, some of them who are extreme, whatever, they're doing that. But there's also a counter to that, right? You know, when I watch Melissa Harris, who last name is Perry, do a seminar with a bunch of black women, and they're talking about, we need to redefine masculinity, and, you know, it was oppressive for Maya Angelou uncles to kill the guy who raped her. Like, what were they doing? Savages, black men, just horrible, right? And I'm thinking, like, who is she talking to? You know what I mean? Like, are men not supposed to protect their family and their women and handle stuff, right? See, that was an example of, you know, rape and pillage in the community. And that was an example of a structure of black men who handled it, right? But we don't have that collectively in our community, and stuff like that goes unchecked. That's why you see situations like the chick on the bus get stabbed up with a bus full of people and not one person intervening to help her. That's what happens when men view women as equals. They don't give them preferential treatment. They don't defend them based on their, you know, they should be able to handle themselves. And like I said before, there are a lot of things I totally get that a woman's going to vote in her best interest, regardless. There are certain things that you might be black first on, but there are certain things as a gender, and that's pretty much what your video was saying, is that black women are going to gravitate to that, because it's that time. It's going to be a whole bunch of promotion and propaganda in the media. Then every time some dude says something like "make me a sandwich," it's going to be amplified to push women to go into the arms of Hillary, even though logic and reason say she's not the one for you. No matter how much nay she does for you on stage, no matter how much hot sauce she keeps in her bag swag, she's not for you. And you're voting for that. And yeah, it did make me feel some type of way just listening to all this stuff when, I give respect. Don't support Black Lives Matter at all. But I respect the fact that they haven't picked a candidate. I respect the fact that they've called candidates out on their bull. On the party. Like, to me, it's like black folks were quick to, the Republicans are just written off, they're racist, we don't mess with them, boom. Whatever. That's what we do. But this is the first time I've seen, the way Black Lives Matter has treated Bernie and Hillary is how you're supposed to treat all politicians. Black folks didn't even do that to Obama. Black folks are getting tough with Hillary and Bernie. Well, Black Lives Matter, not black folks, because Black Lives Matter is the ones who interrupt their speeches and doing what they're doing. But black folks didn't do that to Obama. They gave the man a pass. They defended him and stuff. I watched as black people were saying they didn't like Black Lives Matter anymore because they wouldn't have a 20-second conversation with Obama. They're like, nah, we don't want you to politicize that. We want to talk about certain things. If we can't do this, we're not talking to you. And they said, we don't want to talk to you. And I listen to black men and women, older, elders, they just don't know what they're doing, and I don't have respect for them for that. I'm like, he's been in the presidency 8 years. He hasn't done nothing yet, so what exactly is going to come from them sitting down with her? Or they just messed up their chance of, when he gets out of office, he could have did something. Like, no, he's not going to do anything. He ain't doing nothing in 8 years when he was in office, when he was the, when he had the House and the Senate in 2009 to what? Yeah, from 2008 to 2011, he had the House and Senate. He ain't do nothing, and then he ain't gonna do nothing outside of office at all. But people just keep constantly making excuses for him, whatever. But that's a different topic, different conversation. I don't know, just sitting back like those, after listening to that video, I just got the same vibe of, brothers, brace yourself. Sisters is about to do something really silly and stupid and kind of prove everything that the men who don't subscribe to female leadership or egalitarianism is on. But black men, get off of that MRA stuff because you shouldn't be over there. Because you're a simp for being over there. Even though black people don't have a structure to deal with those issues that you face as a male who is also black. Black women are not going to support those things either. I've seen situations where a sister who might be got connects and hookups and she can't see her nephew because her brother got what it thought and she's acting stupid and she helps fight for him to have custody and all that type of stuff. I've seen those situations, and that's what it usually takes sometimes for you to actually have that experience with that person to, that's why, you know what I mean? So, give credit to women who are on that. But on a collective level, there are just certain things that are just against your interests. That's why gender is used as a voting block, as issues. It's another divide. So, and it's a natural, real divide. And it's almost like, again, we excuse black women for buying into that and dealing with that, but we're going to ignore black men have those same issues when it comes to gender and things that they are disenfranchised with inside this system. Black men don't lose anything by fighting for those things. Black men don't lose anything by fighting for, if a chick lie about getting raped, she should go to jail too. What do they lose from doing that? What's simpish about that rhetoric? Because that's the type of stuff that I pay attention to. MGTOW, again, that's different. That's not a solution to feminism. That's just a response. That's just go do whatever you want to do. And we've been doing that since 1968, since we got our freedom in this country. We've all gone off and did what we wanted to do. And we see what that has led us to with the out-of-wedlock rate, the economic weakness, and all that stuff. It's like, no, there got to be structure, there got to be order, and there got to be standards. And that's what I think, one of the differences between the men's rights activists versus MGTOWs is they don't want to blow the system up. They want to fix it. And then a lot of the cats actually agree with some of the stuff that Princess Sarah say as far as being egalitarianism and being equal because of, we're post-feminism 50 years. So some of the stuff that a lot of the men aren't going to do. And that's when the Sergeant William Pete comes in because a lot of things that black men just are not going to do that black women want from black men. So that's just my video. It just seems like there's a lot of excuses being made for what black men are about to do while chastising black men at the same time. It's like, yo, It's not going to work that way. Telling black men they're simps for being over there, that's not going to help anything, especially when you don't have anything to offer, you know, them for doing it. It's just funny that we do that. Like, I listen to the Black Authority talk about, well, we got to get rid of these coons and we got to put them on blast, and, you know, Stephen A. Smith has to go. I'm like, go where? Like, where can you put him? Like, you don't have a network to pay this man $2 million a year just to give his opinion on sports and social issues. Like, we don't have anything to offer anybody. Like, we ignore incentives, right? We ignore that. Just telling people, calling people coons and all that stuff and all that, obviously that ain't working, right? You need to do better than that. You need to do more. You need to get people, you need to incentivize doing the right thing sometimes, because everybody's not going to just do it. And telling black men who don't have an out, don't have options, they get together with another bunch of men, and it doesn't even, like, again, I subscribe to dudes who deal with those issues specifically. None of the nonsense, none of the extra stuff, just on issues. White men, black men come to me with those issues, and we have discussions, we talk about those things. And black people have nothing to deal with that, and nothing to give them to fix those things. So what are you going to replace it when we tell them to get off of that? Where are you going to go? Even the black women who are, you know, they're not the mainstream type of black feminists, like the Selena Maxwell's, we got to teach men not to rape. These are the ones who buy into multiculturalism and all that, and they're female before feminists. But some of the black feminists who are race conscious, some of them are extreme as shit. And these are the ones on YouTube now who are, even the ones who aren't, like, the funny thing is, the women who aren't extreme feminists, like, who aren't at all feminists, Simone 5-6 and Cerebral Madness and stuff like that, they sound worse than the extreme black feminists. They're saying, yo, we shouldn't be out in the streets. We shouldn't be protesting for black men. We shouldn't be doing those things. They don't take care. In order for us to do that, they need to give us something. And that's something that they want is not going to come from this egalitarian, women can be on the front line stuff that Sincere keeps talking about in her videos. And again, you did a video with Chrissy, you know what she's on. She's not on the stuff that y'all talking about. Yeah, I might agree from point to point on certain things. For example, to my point about how black men, yes, get in there with the men's rights, get these laws passed, get these things changed that's going to benefit you. Recognize, know when it comes to race, they're not banking with you. That's just true. But that's how we have to operate with each other anyways, because we're divided as two within each other. I listen to Zaza, I'm like, yo, I don't trust her. She's kind of sneaky. She's kind of a snake. But when she talks about the unchecked molestation in our community, I agree with her. That shit needs to be checked. When she talks about the abortion and nonsense and all that, she takes a lot of flack from that from black women. I respect her. I got her back on that. When she starts talking about this, the sky is blue and it's the year of the Aquarius and the man's prostate is like the woman's womb, I'm like, that's that matriarchal shit. I don't co-sign that. So I can pick and choose ideas and specific points that I bang with you on, and I'm going to do that. Black men can do the same thing. Hell, black women would have been smart to do that with white feminism, but they didn't. They got left hanging. They lost a lot by going over there. Black men don't lose anything by being in the MRA. They only, if the laws get changed, that benefits them. They get what they want, and they go their separate ways. Yes, I agree with Sarge and Sincere Prince that when it comes to race, they're not fucking with you. They're not. We just know that historically, they're not. Maybe the group you might start up with people you know individually in real life, but as a collective, no, they're not. And I don't even listen to some of the dudes right now that are popular, Sandman and all of them. It's like I've gravitated to listen to more black men who are over there in that. But when I started, it wasn't like that. Though. It was mostly white YouTubers, and now in the last 2-3 years, I have listened to a lot of the people. I'm still subscribed to them. I see them pop up every now and then if we're friends on Facebook. But for the most part, I subscribe to black men who voice male problems and issues. And when they do their commentary, they specifically say, okay, this is something that affects us worse, or affects us worse. It affects all of us in this situation, but it affects us worse and this and that. And that's just how you got to deal with it. That's how we've always had to deal with it. No matter what the topic is, no matter what the movement is, we've always had to stick and move. It's nothing different. So I totally disagree that black men being a part of the MRA is anything like black women being a part of feminism. Because black women, one, they lost a lot, but also when it comes to telling black men to just get out of it because just to get out of it, it's like black women do have a structure behind them because they're women, because they're gender, right? They do get bones thrown in their corner. They do get some type of help every now and then that black men don't have. And when you remove what the little bit they do have, now where are they at? What do they do? That's why I said a lot of sisters get mad about black men being on the internet doing what they're doing. And I'm like, some of it is extreme and all that, but I'd rather have them be on internet venting in videos than, you know, doing what men did 50, 60 years ago when they want to take out their frustration, right? We see what black men are doing when they get what they're frustrated and they feel like they have no options. We saw what happened in Dallas. We saw what happened with that cop and the brother who was in that factory in Tennessee, I think, and his coworkers kept messing with him, and he did what he felt like he had to do because he had no out. Because we don't offer anything, but we tell everybody to get off something without replacing it with anything, and it don't work like that. Yeah, just some minor more points that I missed in the video. Prince had said that Megyn Kelly was like a real strong Republican. She's not. She's an independent. But to the point, like an example would be Paula Ferris from The View. She straight up says all the time on the show, like, you know, she can agree with a platform or position on a group, but if they, when it comes to churches, but if they don't allow women to preach from the pulpit, she won't go. So yeah, that is true that women, even Republican or conservative women, when it comes to gendered issues, they flip to that side. All I'm saying is that brothers are no different, right? When they want a space to talk about the things that bother them, that they're affected by, and because it's a gendered issue, it's something that men face, you know, states passing laws where you can't go to the hospital to see your kid, even if you're married, you know, where you going to go to do that? Again, women are not going to help black men fix those things or address those things. So they're going to go to spaces that they can get that. One thing that Sincere said is about Serena being used to fix the pay discrepancy in tennis. Well, first of all, if a woman plays less sets than men and they don't bring in the same revenue, they're getting up there. Like female tennis is getting more popular, but they shouldn't make the same as men unless they play with the same level of intensity and the same expectations. They don't have that. And the real factor would be to say that women should play against men if they want true equality in pay. Well, that's a different conversation. But the point is that Serena doesn't make less money than Sharapova playing tennis. She can't. She doesn't win the same amount of matches, and she doesn't win the bigger tournaments. She did make more money in endorsements, which has nothing to do with their abilities on the tennis court. And not to mention, Sharapova is not a bum, right? She can't beat Serena. She's won a bunch of titles and medals too. She just can't beat Serena. I think she's like, you know, it's Serena beat her 20-4 or something like that, 20-2. But the point is that if we want Serena to make more money endorsements, which she does now without our help, but that would be on black folks that have businesses and want to use her to market their products. Of course, the dominant culture is going to put more money and resources behind someone who looks like them. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. They don't want the 6 foot tall, diesel Amazon-looking black chick, you know, marketing their products. It is what it is. But true, she has been the face of the pay gap situation. I think it was more so Venus than Serena, though. Venus was the one who led the charge and did all that. Serena just responded to some of the comments that some of the male tennis players have made. Well, that's pretty much it. I am interested into knowing what Sincere means when she keeps bringing up these African Amazon Xena Warrior Princess chicks, because we don't have that today. Look at our community. We don't have that, right? So I was like, it's almost like you're pushing women to do something that they're not even ready to sign up for, because I just don't see that. When we look at the commentary from the black women on YouTube, that's not there, yo. It's just not. You have black women on the extreme traditional side who want male leadership so bad that they're gonna hop the fence to get it from other races of men, and you have even the extreme black feminists who don't like men. Some of them didn't. They end up with white liberal men because again they still want to be a part of that establishment, that structure. That's it. I'm out.